7-day forecast. And of course, we're keeping our eye on Tropical Storm Arthur spinning in the Atlantic and the impacts it could have on your 4th of July. Weather Center Live continues.
So, Duke, what do you think of our new Bush's Baked Beans video game?
I think I'm getting the hang of it.
Okay, now pick up the specially cured bacon, hit it with the brown sugar. Now, roll that beautiful bean footage. Yes! Bush's Baked Beans are slow cooked according to our secret family recipe for big flavor. High score! You get to put your name on the Wall of Fame. Whoa, game over.
Aw, you're no fun.
Enjoy Bush's Baked Beans, still made from our secret family recipe.
Let's unplug the past. Let's say goodbye to those. And hello to whoa. Let's find a better way to cook this. Wash that. Compare those and save these. Because you can make dinner. Or you can make dinner a breeze. Are you ready? Let's do this. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Right now, this Maytag French door refrigerator, just $9.98.
Currently in our area, 81 degrees with thunderstorms in the area. This afternoon, thunderstorms likely. High 82. Chance of rain 80%. Locally heavy rainfall possible. Tonight, thunderstorms. Low 77. Chance of rain 80%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Coasties are back, and Monday, the Weather Channel is the only place to find them. Coast Guard, Cape Disappointment. Monday nights at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Whoa.
Sweeten any moment with soft, fruity, chewy Fruit Vines bites.
One more signature.
From the Red Vines family, introducing Fruit Vines Bites. Live on the sweet side with Fruit Vines.
Live on the sweet side with Fruit Vines from the Red Vines family.
Thank you, Daddy, for defending our country.
Thank you for your sacrifice, and thank you for your bravery.
Thank you, Colonel.
Thank you, Daddy.
Military families are uniquely thankful for many things. The legacy of USAA Auto Insurance can be one of them. If you're a current or former military member or their family, get an auto insurance quote and see why 92% of our members plan to stay for life.
That's smooth. Transform your worn weather deck into a beautiful barefoot-friendly surface with Olympic Rescue It Wood and Concrete Resurfacer.
Who are you talking to?
Olympic Rescue It, from America's most trusted brand since 1938. Available at Lowe's.
Well, welcome back to Weather Center Live. You're looking at video coming out of Chicago where the Willis Tower was struck by lightning. This happened last night right around midnight. You can see a bright bolt striking the top of the tower. At times, the sky even turned a particular shade of purple. Beautiful indeed. Along with the light show, the Windy City got nearly 2 inches of rain in 6 hours, and that left behind a lot of flooding problems. Well, let's talk about what's going to be popping up across parts of the Midwest. I can tell you this, it's not the temperatures. They are going down, and temperatures are going to be rather cool for this time of the year. As we show you the numbers right now, we have the 60s, 50s out there, 71 degrees. It's almost July. This is unusual for this time of the year. As we show you some of the 24-hour temperature change, 19 degrees cooler in Fargo, 6 degrees cooler in Minneapolis, International Falls, 14 degrees cooler than this time yesterday. So it's not your imagination. It is a lot colder out there. And this cold air is going to be in place as we go all the way through late this week from the plains into parts of the Great Lakes. Anywhere you're seeing in blue, we're going to see temperatures running 5 to 15 degrees below average for this time of the year. Today, highs in the 70s and the 80s. You're thinking that's not bad out there. And then tomorrow, look at the drop down. We're going to see 75 for high in Des Moines, 73 in Minneapolis, 64 in Chicago, 74 on Thursday in Chicago. Notice we start to see those temperatures rebounding, but it's really not going to be back to average until we get to Sunday. Your average high in Chicago should be 84 degrees. Today we're expecting a high of 82, 64 tomorrow, and then for the 4th of July, 75 degrees. That's Chicago. Then we jump ahead into Minneapolis. Temperatures are going to be in the lower 70s for today and tomorrow. And then Thursday, it looks like 76 degrees, and your average high should be 83.
All right, thanks, Jennifer. Let's check on the southeast coast because, you know, we're watching Tropical Storm Arthur. We'll get to that in a moment. But we also want to tell you about the Coast Guard because they have suspended their search for a 14-year-old boy who was swept out to sea near Ocean City, New Jersey. Authorities say more than a half a dozen people were swimming when the teen, when they were swept into a rip current on Sunday evening. Everyone except the 14-year-old boy made it back to shore. The search resumed yesterday before being halted. So kind of tricky along the immediate eastern seaboard, not only off the coast of Florida where we have Tropical Storm Arthur, but up the coast too, over the mid-Atlantic and even in New England. So let's check on the next 7 days of weather because today, again, not only are we watching Tropical Storm Arthur that has just developed about a couple of hours ago, upgraded to a tropical storm, but we're also watching this potent cold front as it swings across the eastern Great Lakes and draping from upstate New York back into the southeastern parts of Missouri, northern Arkansas. There is the chance for the storms to turn severe right in this area today. And then tomorrow, the whole system will be pushing off to the east and south, so it'll be approaching the immediate eastern seaboard. So some of the big cities, including New York City, Philadelphia, Washington, D.C., and Baltimore, tomorrow there is a chance that those storms will roll right on into the area. And notice how the system doesn't move much because Thursday we still have you at least painted in the green. Maybe the system will lose some of its punch, but nonetheless still the chance of the scattered showers in the northeast and down to the mid-Atlantic. All the while now, keep in mind that we are watching Tropical Storm Arthur as it could be making its way up the mid-Atlantic coast and kind of paralleling the New England coast. In the wake of the system, though, oh, what a beautiful 4th of July are we expecting over the Great Lakes, the Ohio Valley, much of the Mid-South. Doesn't get much better than this. Hopefully the showers during the morning and afternoon hours will taper off by the evening hours for the fireworks display along the northeast coast. Jennifer, back to you.
All right, Vivian, well, we are closely tracking our first named tropical storm of the year right now, and there's a chance it could become even a hurricane just ahead. Hurricane specialist Michael Lowry will tell us where it is headed, and the U.S. men's national team is just hours away from a win or go home game against Belgium. Forecast.
At Panera Bread, our new flatbread sandwiches may be flat. The flavors are anything but. So whether it's taste inspired by the freshness of the Mediterranean or the smoky spice of the Southwest, or bold, adventurous Thai flavors, you always get flavor that's anything but flat, and always with chicken raised without antibiotics. New flatbread sandwiches from Panera, each 360 calories or less. Try one today.
Find your Panera Bread favorite and share with us. #PaneraFaves.
They lived.
They lived. They lived.
We lived, thanks to our Subaru.
Love. It's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
This July 4th, let's think about what it means to be independent, to be free. That's what built manufacturing in America, and it's what will rebuild it. You can see it happening in small towns where factories are pumping life back into communities, and we are once again calling the shots. So, enjoy the holiday, and then let's go to work.
David's heart attack didn't come with a warning. Today, his doctor has him on a Bayer aspirin regimen to help reduce the risk of another one. If you've had a heart attack, be sure to talk to your doctor before you begin an aspirin regimen.
Jack.
Energizer protects your devices from damaging leaks.
Mesothelioma victims and their loved ones may be entitled to a cash award from the $18 billion in asbestos trust funds, and you may not have to file a lawsuit to qualify. If diagnosed with mesothelioma or lung cancer caused by exposure to asbestos, call the number on your screen now. Even if a loved one had mesothelioma or asbestos lung cancer and has passed, your family may still be entitled to a cash award. Mesothelioma is a rare cancer caused by exposure to asbestos. Many victims worked in the Navy or in shipyards, mills, carpentry, roofing, insulation, construction, or automotive industries. For over 30 years, our legal team has successfully helped thousands of victims and families. Time is limited. You may not have to file a lawsuit. If your loved one has been diagnosed with mesothelioma or lung cancer caused by exposure to asbestos, please call 1-855-761-7991 now. That's 1-855-761-7991. 1-855-266-2838 now. That's 1-855-266-2838.
The Coasties are back, and Monday, the Weather Channel is the only place to find them. Coast Guard, Cape Disappointment. Monday nights at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 81 degrees with a thunderstorm. This afternoon, thunderstorms likely. High 82. Chance of rain 80%. Locally heavy rainfall possible. Tonight, thunderstorms. Low 77. Chance of rain 80%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
To the Weather Channel, which is also Hurricane Central.
And hurricane specialist Michael Lowry is tracking the tropics for us today. Michael, what is the very latest on Tropical Storm Arthur at this hour?
Well, Jen, some good news is it hasn't really strengthened all that much this morning. It is now a tropical storm because the National Hurricane Center found a wind report earlier this morning on Grand Bahama Island that said that this was a tropical storm. They were seeing tropical storm force winds, but mostly in gusts. Most of the thunderstorms are away from the center. We'll talk about that in a minute. This is the latest information that we do have, a 40-mile-per-hour tropical storm. So borderline tropical storm. Tropical storm strength winds start at 39 miles per hour. Those pressures still at about 1,007 millibars. That's really key here, is we haven't seen a dramatic drop in those pressures. That means the storm isn't organizing. If it is organizing, it's not doing it very quickly, and it's also not moving very quickly, moving northwest slowly at 2 miles per hour. Here's our enhanced satellite picture. I put on the wind flow at the surface of the ocean, and the thing about this system that has me a little concerned is its circulation. It's very, very big. It's about 200 or 300 miles across. When you have a circulation that's large, all you need is the thunderstorm growth near the center, to really kick off a strong tropical system. That's the good news, though, is the pressure's 1,007 millibars mean that the wind flow into this is fairly light. So it's sweeping across that ocean, but it's not sweeping a lot of that moisture up into the atmosphere where it helps to power the system. Okay, so this is what it looks like on our visible satellite picture. I'm going to put on some of the wind reports. 15, 20 mile per hour sustained winds in general along the east coast of Florida. So just kind of a gusty day along some of the Florida beaches. We're not really anticipating this, though, to be a big wind threat for Florida. Not even a big rain threat, just some increased enhanced rainfall from some of these thunderstorms that move onshore. The gusty winds are going to come with those bands that move around the circulation from north to south. So we've seen wind gusts anywhere from 30, maybe 35 miles an hour in the Melbourne area where our own Mike Seidel is and has been reporting all morning. But this is not a significant threat to Florida, more of a nuisance. We could get some localized flooding. This is not to dismiss it, certainly, because you can get some heavy rainfall and flooding impacts from these weaker systems. Tropical storm watch up for the east central coast of Florida from Fort Pierce up to Daytona Beach. This means tropical storm conditions are possible in the next 24 to 48 hours. Winds in excess of 39 miles per hour, mainly in those rain bands as they move onshore. This is our radar. You can see the spin to those storms. Most of the convection and the heavy rain over here over the Bahamas where it's been raining itself out. The center is up here, so the organization of the storm is on the south side, not the north side. On the north side of the storm, we have some drier air at the mid-levels of the atmosphere. You can kind of see that on our water vapor picture. This is about 20 or 30,000 feet up. We look about 10,000 feet for that mid-level dry air, some of the darker colors, but we are seeing a little bit of convection, a little bit of thunderstorm growth on the north side. This is what the timing is going to look like here the next few days. So today and tomorrow, some locally heavy rainfall, maybe some gusty winds along the east central coast of Florida, and then as it moves up the coast, it's going to get drawn northward by a dip in the jet stream. We're going to see an increase in those winds, rough surf, strong rip currents. If you're at the beaches in southeast Georgia or along South Carolina coast, you're going to want to avoid going in the water. Thereafter, possibly intensifying to a hurricane and impacting the Outer Banks. I'm going to have more on this and the impacts down the road coming up in about half an hour during your full tropical update. Back to you.
All right, thanks very much, Michael. The latest on the tropics. In the meantime, we have 2 NASA astronauts at the International Space Station, and they're feeling lighter this week, and it has nothing to do with gravity.
That's right. German Alexander Gersh had a bet with American Steve Swanson and Reed Wiseman. Well, if the U.S. lost to Germany last week in the World Cup, the Americans would have to shave their heads, and they paid up.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Now, if you recall, that game last Thursday between the U.S. and Germany was a soggy one. The city of Recife received about 3 inches of rain leading up to the match. The U.S. lost 1-0, but we're still in the running as the U.S. advanced to face Belgium later today.
Yeah, and of course, we'll all be watching that match when we're not watching the Weather Channel, of course. But here's the forecast for Salvador, Brazil. Today, we'll expect to see temperature near 80 degrees, comfortable out there for this time of the year.
All right, better weather. Go USA. We'll be right back.
Huh. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Everybody knows that.
Well, did you know that words really can hurt you?
What?
Jesse, don't go! Jesse, no!
I'm sorry, Daisy, but I'm a loner, and a loner's gotta be alone.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Nobody told us to expect it. Intercourse that's painful due to menopausal changes. The problem isn't likely to go away on its own. So it's time we do something about it. And there's help. Premarin Vaginal Cream, a prescription that does what no over-the-counter product was designed to do. It provides estrogens to help rebuild vaginal tissue and makes intercourse more comfortable. Premarin Vaginal Cream treats vaginal changes due to menopause and moderate to severe painful intercourse caused by these changes. Don't use Premarin Vaginal Cream if you've had unusual bleeding, breast or uterine cancer, blood clots, liver problems, stroke, or heart attack. are allergic to any of its ingredients, or think you're pregnant. Side effects may include headache, pelvic pain, breast pain, vaginal bleeding, and vaginitis. Estrogens may increase your chances of getting cancer of the uterus, strokes, blood clots, or dementia, so use it for the shortest time based on goals and risks. Estrogen should not be used to prevent heart disease, heart attack, stroke, or dementia. Ask your doctor about Premarin Vaginal Cream and go to PremarinVaginalCream.com. This is worth talking about.
Don't wait for awesome. Totino's Pizza Rolls get you there in just 60 seconds.
Bridgestone's new Drive Guard tires are engineered to take a puncture and go up to 50 miles.
We can drive 50 miles on a flat, and you have an app that makes nails pop up?
Yep.
We could rule the world. But I have that carpool at 3, though, so
that time
we could, mess with the world.
I'm a loving husband and a real good dad, but weeds just make me rattlesnake mad. Well, Roundup has a sharpshooting wand. I'm sending them weeds to the great beyond. Roundup. No need to pump, just point and shoot. Hit him in the leaves and it kills to the root. Round fences, trees, even mulched beds. Cause the only good weed is a weed that's dead. Roundup. Roundup. With a one-touch wand.
Currently in our area, 81 degrees with a thunderstorm. This afternoon, thunderstorms likely. High 82. Chance of rain 80%. Locally heavy rainfall possible. Tonight, thunderstorms. Low 77. Chance of rain 80%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
America's Morning Headquarters with Sam Champion.
Not just a morning forecast, a morning show.
AMHQ with Sam Champion, the Weather Channel's brand new morning show.
Welcome back to Weather Center Live, coming up on 30 minutes past the hour.
From severe storms to activity in the tropics, we have a lot to talk about right now. And of course, we want to get you in front of your weather headlines today. The tropics, yeah, that's what everybody's focusing on, what's going to be happening there. And then we're also going to be looking at the Northeast, a severe threat. The main threat is going to be the strong winds around. Here is your tropical storm Arthur spinning off the coastline of Florida and then up towards the north. Today, expect to see some storms around from Pittsburgh into Syracuse. Main threat, damaging winds as well as hail. And then we jump ahead through today. Expect to see more wet weather across parts of the southeast from Miami into Orlando. Right now, we turn it over to Vivian for a tropical update.
Yes, Jennifer, because some viewers may be just tuning in and don't even know about Tropical Storm Arthur. It was just upgraded to a tropical storm within the last 2 hours, and there it is off the east coast of Florida. We'll get more on Arthur in just a moment. But we also want to tell you about the Eastern Pacific. We have Tropical Storm Douglas and Tropical Storm Elita. The thing about these two is that they're moving west, so they're moving away from the coast of Mexico. Now, Arthur is also moving northwest, but it is moving towards the lower 48. So let's get to Arthur, the very first off here. We notice the latest latitude and longitudinal positions. It is about 95 miles southeast of Cape Canaveral, Florida. The winds now of 40 miles an hour. That's what made it a tropical storm. The pressure is 1,007 millibars. It is moving northwest, as mentioned, but very slowly at only 2 miles an hour. So it's inching a little bit closer to the east coast of Florida, but we do think that eventually its forward direction will change course and it'll start to move away from the Florida coast. But nonetheless, still some of those spiral bands and the choppier seas expected, and that's why tropical storm watches have been issued from Daytona Beach all the way down to Fort Pierce, just south of the Vero Beach area. So if you're along the east to central coast of Florida, please know that Tropical Storm Arthur has developed just off the coast. Look at the latest radar. Again, we're getting some rain bands trying to brush up against the coast here, but the heavier thunderstorms are out across open waters, and they're on the south side of the circulation. So it's kind of bottom heavy, if you will, but we are beginning to see some of those storms wrap around the center. And to be honest with you, that was a true indication that this system was developing and strengthening when you saw those thunderstorms kind of wrap around the center of circulation. Okay, where is it going from this point? We think, again, because it's moving to the northwest very slowly right now, but we think the upper air steering current will eventually pull it back out to sea. But because the coast of North and South Carolina kind of convexed and kind of point out over the open waters, it's very well possible that the Outer Banks could be sideswiped by this system. And look, by Friday morning, it could become a hurricane with 80-mile-per-hour winds. And then we'll watch it as it moves up the coast here of New England as we go through the weekend. So you got to keep it tuned to the Weather Channel for the next several days as we are watching Tropical Storm Arthur for you. Back to you, Jennifer.
All right. Well, residents in Florida are closely watching Tropical Storm Arthur, including how it's going to affect the big 4th of July weekend. Well, Mike Seidel is in Melbourne, Florida today, where a tropical storm watch is in effect. Mike.
The northwest breeze is kind of cutting down on that heat index today. It's around 90, so it takes a little edge off the heat and humidity here on Melbourne Beach. And people out on the beaches today as we watch Tropical Storm Arthur well off the coast. Now, that storm has generated a few showers. They have pinwheeled in at times. We've had some quick 6 or 7 minute downpours. The surf is up. It's certainly not incredibly safe to go out there because of the wave heights increasing now. 3 to 4 footers. Offshore now ramping up to about 5 feet at the buoy off to the east of Cape Canaveral. The real impact from Arthur as it goes right by off the coast offshore will be tonight and tomorrow. Some of those feeder bands, some of those squalls will rotate in, and some of them could produce wind gusts 30 to 40 miles an hour. So more of a rain story than anything else here along Florida's east coast. And then it's all out of here by late Wednesday, looking smooth into the weekend, the holiday weekend. Typical Florida weather, temperatures in the low 90s, and a stray PM thunderstorm. Back to you.
Right, Mike Seidel reporting from Melbourne, Florida. Well, this morning, nearly a half a dozen states are dealing with damage left behind from a derecho. This is some video coming in from Medina, Missouri. You're seeing the lightning there. The strong storms produced a nice light show, and it ripped through at least 700 miles. You can see some of the whipping rain, again, pushing that rain sideways. Now, back over to our graphics here. Today, it's going to be a little bit stormy out there as we go through parts of the Northeast, and get used to it because it's going to stay that way all the way through the end of the week. Now, as we show you what's going to be popping up, thunderstorms today right along a front, and what we have is another one hot on its heels. As it does, it's going to enhance that rainfall threat as we go all the way through the end of the week. Today, looking at anywhere in red from parts of the mid-Atlantic, or should say parts of the Ohio Valley, up towards the Northeast, looking at stronger storms out there. The main threat's going to be the damaging winds as well as hail. Tornado, not so much of a threat today. Now, we look ahead through Thursday, more storms out there. It is going to be wet as we go all the way through Friday. And then we talk about today. Anywhere you're seeing in the red shading, that's where we're going to see the chance for severe storms out there. And then we jump ahead and look ahead into tomorrow. Anywhere in the red shaded area from Maine all the way down towards parts of West Virginia into parts of the Tennessee Valley, you could be looking at storms producing some damaging winds around. For Buffalo today, isolated thunderstorms out there. And then tonight, things really quiet down. Temperatures today in the mid-80s. And then notice for Washington, D.C., we're going to keep you dry all the way through about 5 o'clock. And that's when we're going to see those late day storms arriving. continuing even into the evening hours. Jumping ahead to New York as we go all the way through Friday. I know you see the showers around. That's the 4th of July, but it looks like hopefully we're hoping that the rain will end early and give way to better conditions. Over to you, Vivian.
All right, Jennifer, that's a look at the Northeast. Let's check on the Southeast, shall we? Looking at the beaches here of Florida from Jacksonville along the Northeast coast all the way down to Daytona Beach. It looks as though the waters are a little more choppy near Daytona Beach, right, than what we're finding in the Jacksonville area. Nonetheless, we want you to know that off the east coast of Florida, we are watching Tropical Storm Arthur as it spins off the coast. At the same time, we have a surface cold front that will be sliding through parts of the Mid-South as well and the Tennessee Valley. But here is the latest radar on Tropical Storm Arthur. Most of the storms are to the south of the center of circulation, but we're beginning to see some of those thunderstorms wrap around the overall center, and even some of those storms kind of side-swiping the southeast coast here of Florida, just to the south of Orlando down to near Daytona Beach as we speak. So there you have it, Tropical Storm Arthur. We'll have more on that in a moment. But here comes the cold front. Notice how it slides across northern Mississippi, Alabama, northern Georgia, and approaching the immediate Gulf coastal region. So as we go through the next several days, there are two entities we'll be watching, one coming from the north, and of course Tropical Storm Arthur out here in the western Atlantic. Here's a look at the forecast for Thursday. Mainly watching the Gulf coastal region up to the Outer Banks of North Carolina with those two systems kind of coming together. But as we look at the forecast for you, Daytona Beach, for the rest of the day today, anticipating those thunder showers, so just bear that in mind. Certainly not the best of beach days, certainly not when you talk about a tropical storm off the coast. And here is a look at the next several days. So Daytona Beach, we are here watching your radar closely. Back to you, Jennifer.
All right, thank you, Vivian. Well, this is a very big week, so the big question is, will you get to see those fireworks where you're going to be on Friday? And there will be showers for many. As we look at your national forecast, expect to see scattered storms around for parts of the southeast, as well as even into the areas including parts of the southwest. Now that's going to be that monsoon rain. And might see a few showers across parts of Minnesota. The northeast, we're hoping to get the showers out of there early enough so you can see the fireworks. This is Boston's forecast. Showers for you Saturday and Sunday, though. Spectacular weather. I know a lot of people still party and grill it up for the weekend. And then for Chicago, Friday, 75 degrees, beautiful weather. I think you might have the most fabulous weather for the 4th of July. Here's Dallas. Chance for isolated storms. Hot down there with a high of 93.
All right, well, still ahead. We're keeping an eye on the week ahead, no matter where you live.
Yeah, we're tracking showers into the weekend, and many other spots may have some clear skies as well. 7-day forecast.
Currently in our area, 83 degrees under cloudy skies. This afternoon, thunderstorms likely. High 82. Chance of rain 80%. Locally heavy rainfall possible. Tonight, thunderstorms. Low 77. Chance of rain 80%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Was a hungry road that ate up tires, wearing down the tread and wearing out safety, leaving worried drivers with no choice but to buy new ones. Then along came the Michelin Man who proved the right tire changes everything, putting those drivers back on the road with safety that lasts. Find the right tire for you at MichelinMan.com. Michelin, a better way forward.
I often think how amazing it is that I am a business owner when I'm definitely not a business guy.
When you believe in something and you want to pursue your dreams, you just have to go for it.
I think owning your own business just makes you feel so much more successful.
We take pride in what we do, but being proud of it is a part of it as well.
So when I design stuff, when I market, it's definitely got to feel like me.
Vistaprint allowed me to create that vision that I had in my mind.
I was able to find a template, then just pop my logo into it.
Vistaprint had all the things that I really needed to be able to market my company.
Your business is your passion. Your marketing materials should reflect that. With Vistaprint, they will. So start putting your passion to work for you with 500 business cards starting at just $9.99. That's right, get 500 cards for just $9.99 when you enter promo code TV500 at Vistaprint.com.
I love my job.
Vistaprint.com.
Attention homeowners, if your home has lost value and you now owe more on your mortgage than your home is worth, listen carefully to this very important message from Quicken Loans. Recently, the government announced changes that may allow you to refinance even if your home has lost value. So if your current mortgage rate is higher than 4.75%, call Quicken Loans today to learn how we can help. For example, if you owe $300,000 on your mortgage, but your home's only worth $150,000, Quicken Loans may still be able to help you. Again, if you purchased or refinanced your loan before June of 2009 and you owe more than your home is worth, or if your current mortgage rate is above 4.75%, call Quicken Loans today to find out if we can help you take advantage of this very unique refinancing opportunity. And you can be confident that Quicken Loans will treat you right. We have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Again, call Quicken Loans today or visit QuickenLoans.com.
Well, we are closely watching newly named Tropical Storm Arthur that is churning in the Atlantic, and cities up and down the East Coast could be affected.
And it could have a huge impact now on your 4th of July weekend plans. So we want to go to Reagan Maggi. She's in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina with the latest. Reagan.
It's a beautiful and hot day here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. The high today, 88 degrees. And as you see, it is beautiful. But some say this could be the calm before the storm. Here's a look at the businesses here along the boardwalk. The concern, though, is that storm system out in the Atlantic. The mayor says this weekend, the 4th of July weekend, a huge economic impact to the area. About 400,000 people could visit this area alone, also called the Grand Strand, the entire area, the greater Myrtle Beach area. The other issue here is that the storm system is creating kind of a riptide, and some people we spoke with earlier say that is causing the ocean to be a little rough on their kiddies or them while they're going and enjoying and cooling off. Now that storm system, what's going to happen, we're thinking at this point, is that Wednesday night, Thursday, you're likely going to see some storm activity here, but all fingers are crossed that for the 4th of July fireworks, everything should be in the clear here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Back to you.
All right, Reagan Maggi at the beach. She's got a great job today. Well, how about your 7-day forecast? Will many of you be going out to the beach? Well, you probably want to know where the storms are going to be popping up. Today, anywhere red, we could be looking at some storms around right along a front that could be producing some stronger winds out there and some hail. Not really so much a tornado threat out there. Scattered storms around anywhere you're seeing in green. For parts of Texas, quiet there. Some beneficial rainfall moving into the Texas Panhandle. The southeast, scattered storms around for you. Now let's talk about the temperatures. That's going to be the big story tomorrow. Look at that. 73 degrees for a high in Minneapolis, 64 in Chicago after 80s today. Anywhere you're seeing in the green, more storms out there. Some of those getting a bit punchier as we go into the afternoon, including New York City all the way up towards parts of Maine. And then we look in the southeast, more scattered storms around there. This is Thursday into Friday. We can see some of that tropical moisture hugging parts of the eastern coastline. And then as we show you elsewhere in the Midwest, beautiful weather. Same for Chicago as well as Minneapolis. Hopefully it holds up for the 4th of July. Well, here is your 4th of July forecast. This is Friday. And notice nothing severe out there expected. Still hot in Phoenix, 105 degrees. More storms around possible for parts of Minneapolis, scattered at best. Don't go canceling your plans just yet. And we could see a few showers as we head to parts of the Northeast and New England. And it looks like hopefully we'll start to see those clearing out as we go later into the afternoon and the evening hours. For Saturday, real quiet weather out there, beautiful for the Northeast as well as into the Ohio Valley, Mid-Atlantic. Then we jump ahead to Sunday. Renewed moisture returns to parts of the Midwest. That includes Chicago as well as into St. Louis. Some of that monsoonal moisture setting up for parts of Colorado, or should should say, even into Arizona. The southeast, more scattered storms around for you. Monday, scattered showers and thunderstorms. Nothing severe out there. West Coast remains really quiet out there. Don't mean to forget you guys there, but 76 degrees in San Francisco, 83 degrees in Los Angeles. Your weather is going to be nice for the next several days, and that is a look at your 7-day forecast.
All right, thanks, Jennifer. Well, you know, with summer in full swing, the heat is certainly cranking up in many places. Another thing heating up is some home sales. NBC's Bob Hansen shows us if it's better time to buy or sell.
Summer brings out the sunshine and the real estate signs, but what sort of summer will it be for home sellers?
You can't say it's a seller's market, and you can't really say it's a buyer's market. It's kind of in between.
Angela Hammond looks over a condo she's listed for sale.
Well, it's a 2-bedroom and 2-bath. The master bedroom's back there.
The condo market has dropped a bit here, but Angela says there is still a strong demand for certain properties.
Typically 3 bedrooms. They're looking for a garage, and they're looking for safe neighborhoods.
Markets that people had written off have come back like gangbusters.
Leslie Kilpatrick predicts a very strong summer. The president of the Greater San Diego Association of Realtors says the home flippers are gone, but investors are still buying. And then there's also the appeal of financing.
They're still historically low.
But getting one of those homes can be a real challenge, especially if you're a first-time buyer on a budget.
The first-time buyer is challenged right now, so they have to be extremely patient. They have to do their homework. They have to be completely 100% pre-qualified, pre-approved, ready to go, because they do have competition.
First-time buyers are generally looking at prices between $300,000 and $500,000, but not everyone is willing to put their homes on the market. Still, summer weather brings out the buyers, and June and July are usually the busiest months of the year.
All right, June and July usually the busiest months of the year in terms of house sales.
And let's talk about the tropics. We are watching Tropical Storm Arthur in the Atlantic. It may affect those living along the East Coast and all the way up from parts of Florida to the Carolinas. Your tropical update is up next, and we are tracking the impacts on your 4th of July.
In fact, we'll have our expert to join us too with the latest, so stay with us.
Would you consider a 4-star hotel that's up to 60% off? Just can't know the name.
Just no name?
Until you book.
Yeah, I'd do that.
Don't just visit San Francisco. Visit TripAdvisor San Francisco. With millions of reviews, TripAdvisor makes any destination better.
The Weather Channel's new morning show.
It all starts with the weather.
America's morning headquarters with Sam Champion. Weekday mornings at 7, only on the Weather Channel.
The Coasties are back.
She's going down.
And tonight, the Weather Channel is the only place to find them.
Look off to your starboard side here.
Brave Americans protecting our borders and navigating the graveyard of the Pacific Northwest. Out here, heroes come in waves. Coast Guard, Cape Disappointment. Tonight at 9, only on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 83 degrees under cloudy skies. This afternoon, thunderstorms likely. High 82. Chance of rain 80%. Locally heavy rainfall possible. Tonight, thunderstorms. Low 77. Chance of rain 80%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
At Panera Bread, our new flatbread sandwiches may be flat. The flavors are anything but. So whether it's taste inspired by the freshness of the Mediterranean or the smoky spice of the Southwest. Or bold, adventurous Thai flavors. You always get flavor that's anything but flat, and always with chicken raised without antibiotics. New flatbread sandwiches from Panera, each 360 calories or less. Try one today.
Find your Panera Bread favorite and share with us. #PaneraFaves.
Sometimes the best used car on the road is the one you're still using. Right now, get a synthetic blend oil change, including a free battery check for only $19.99 at Firestone Complete Auto Care. Whatever you drive a Firestone.
Let's do the one thing that changes everything. And let's start at the place with more #1 choices than any other store. Get $5 off cans and $20 off buckets of select paints and stains. Let's do this. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
What makes Florida's natural orange juice taste so uniquely fresh and delicious? Is it the rich Florida soil or the perfect blend of sunshine, rain, and temperature? Maybe it's the fact that Florida's natural oranges are never imported. They're raised right here in Florida and passed with care from our hands to yours. 100% pure, 100% Florida. Florida's natural. Try our new citrus smoothies in the chilled juice section next to our orange juice.
Heartburn. Did someone say burn? Try Alka-Seltzer Relief Chews. They work just as fast and are proven to taste better than Tums Smoothies assorted fruit.
Amazing.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
Alka-Seltzer Heartburn Relief Chews. Enjoy the relief.
Jack.
Energizer protects your devices from damaging leaks.
Discover Brookside and discover an exciting combination of tastes. Rich dark chocolate covering...
Honey, do you have the tablet?
Yeah, why?
Because Dale has to go.
Just let him go.
He won't go without the tablet.
It's at like 10%.
I need it right now. You had 3 juices. Can we go to the bathroom without the tablet? Is there any way? Honey, now.
All right, hang on. Just let me log off.
Don't log off.
It's important to log off because of security.
I don't care.
Talk to your kids about finding a healthy balance with technology at commonsense.org.
Every child follows a path in life. For many, that path will lead them to a door that gives them a place to grow, to learn, to belong, a place to forge their future. Because while many doors open, these doors transform. They did for us. Support your local Boys and Girls Clubs. Great futures start here.
Pet parents have counted on us. So call or order online at 1-800-PetMeds.com today.
America's Morning Headquarters with Sam Champion.
Not just a morning forecast, a morning show.
AMHQ with Sam Champion, the Weather Channel's brand new morning show.
Well, it is time now for our tropical update, and we do have some updated information in from the 2 p.m. advisory. We do know now it's 80 miles east-southeast of Cape Canaveral, Florida. The winds are at 40 miles per hour. Moving to the northwest now at 5. Right now, we want to turn it over to Hurricane Specialist Michael Lowry with all the latest in the new update. And I guess as well, we're looking at the hurricane hunters going out there later today as well.
That's right. A Hurricane Hunter plane en route from Keesler Air Force Base in Biloxi, currently over North Florida, headed out to the storm. We'll be in there this afternoon. As we get the information from that plane, we'll bring it to you. Right now, it's a little better organized. The thunderstorms are starting to fire up north of the center. That was the issue that it had earlier in terms of its development. So here's the plane here, and they'll be down here flying around. I'm really interested to see what they find up here as they descend into the storm, because I think there is some mid-level dry air that's still present, but I'm curious whether or not the environment might be moistening up, which would allow this to gradually become better organized. As Jen was saying, this is the latest information, 2 o'clock Eastern time, just in 80 miles east-southeast of Cape Canaveral, Florida. Those winds still at 40 miles per hour. The Hurricane Center noting a buoy just on the east side of Grand Bahama Island that reported a wind gust of 44 miles per hour. So there is some gusty winds, mainly though on the south and the east side of this system. And it has picked up in speed just a little bit, northwest at 5 miles per hour. It's been loitering off the coast of Florida now for the better half of the past 24 hours. This is our high resolution enhanced satellite picture. And you can see, as I was mentioning, most of the thunderstorms, the deep red and orange colors indicating where our strongest storms are, to the south of that storm center. The pressure's estimated at 1,007 millibars. Now, when the planes out there, they're going to be flying through the center of the circulation of this, so they're going to be able to tell us with better detail what those pressures are. We just don't have observations over the open ocean as we do over land, so there's just not a lot for us to look at without the plane out there. The circulation, though, look how large it is, about 200 or 300 miles across, and that's the worrisome part of this storm, is that it has such a large circulation to work with. So if we start to see these thunderstorms build up or wrap around on the north side of the storm, that's when we're going to have to be a little more concerned. Right now, mainly a rainmaker for east central Florida. This is the wind reports, though. 15, 20 mile per hour sustained winds for the most part. Not really a wind event so much for Florida, mainly a rain event. Some of those winds and some of those showers as they move through, producing gusty winds along the beach, 30 mile per hour wind gusts in the last hour or so along Melbourne Beach. Tropical storm watches are in effect for east central Florida. This means tropical storm conditions. Winds in excess of 39 miles per hour are possible, in this case, within the next 24 hours in the yellow areas that you're seeing here. So again, mainly a rain impact, 3 to 5 inches of rain from some of these rain bands that feed on shore here. So this is not a significant threat for Florida. This is not to dismiss that, though, because a lot of these showers, if they feed over the same areas, can cause some localized flooding. So that's what we want to watch out for here in Florida. What's going to happen down the road, that's what we're all interested in, because there's some potential here for this to be a very disruptive, maybe even strong tropical storm or borderline hurricane as it moves up the east coast. This is our water vapor picture. Some of that mid-level dry air is noted on the by the darker shading within the milky white colors here. That's really what's been inhibiting the growth and kept the system in check for the past few days. As I mentioned, though, could be moistening up. The environment north of this could be moistening up. So let's step you through this. Today and tomorrow, we're looking at locally heavy rain, perhaps some gusty winds on the east coast of Florida. And then tomorrow into Thursday, it's going to get picked up by a dip in the jet stream and begin to strengthen. Those increasing winds are going to lead to some very rough seas and some rip currents. If you're along the beach here in Georgia, southeast Georgia, South Carolina, you're going to want to watch for those rip currents, stay out of the water. And then once we get into late Thursday into Friday is when it's going to impact the Outer Banks of North Carolina as potentially a hurricane, heavy rainfall, strong winds, coastal flooding, and a low risk for some tornadoes. We're going to talk more in detail about this next hour, so stay tuned with us. In the meantime, back to Jen in the studio.
All right, guess what, Michael? Vivian's in here with me as well. Well, we are going to be talking about Tropical Storm Arthur as it makes its way up towards the northeast. Millions could be in its target.
All right, Daytona Beach, we're watching you too.
Currently in our area, 84 degrees with a thunderstorm. This afternoon, thunderstorms likely. High 82. Chance of rain 80%. Locally heavy rainfall possible. Tonight, thunderstorms. Low 77. Chance of rain 80%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Center Live, we have our first named tropical storm, Arthur. Our team of experts is here to time it out over the next few days of this holiday week.
We're keeping an eye on the first tropical storm of the season here on the east coast of Florida. I'm meteorologist Mike Seidel at Melbourne Beach. We've had some showers. We've got some wind. More impacts on the way. We'll tell you what those are coming up here on Weather Center Live.
We are tracking a severe weather threat as well. This system brought damaging winds, hail, and too much rain to places like Wisconsin and Iowa yesterday. We are tracking those strong storms that they move to the east, and Weather Center Live continues right now. morning to you on the West Coast. It's 11 a.m. for you.
No, we are deep in the heart of the afternoon. It's 2 o'clock right now for the Weather Channel headquarters in Atlanta. Thanks for joining us. I'm Vivian Brown.
And I'm Jennifer Delgado. We have a lot to cover today, starting with our newly named tropical storm, Arthur. And here's the very latest. We do know now that it's roughly 80 miles east-southeast of Cape Canaveral, Florida, and the winds right now at 40 miles per hour.
All right, look at that pressure, 1,007 millibars, and it is moving to the northwest a little faster than the last advisory, now at 5 miles per hour.
That's right, and we want to get you the very latest on this tropical storm. And for that, we bring it in with our hurricane specialist, Michael Lowry. And Michael, you're going to break down all this that's come in with this 2 o'clock advisory.
Yeah, there's a lot going on with this storm. Potential impacts across the eastern seaboard as we go through the holiday week. So if you're planning to head to the beach, if you live along the East Coast from Florida up through the Mid-Atlantic, you want to pay attention to and monitor the developments with the system. Jen, we do have an aircraft reconnaissance plane that took off from Keesler Air Force Base that is headed out to the system right now to sort of investigate this and see whether or not those pressures have fallen. I'm also interested to see what they find in terms of the moisture levels as they descend into the storm. We'll have the latest data for you when we get it from that plane all afternoon. This is the latest information as of the 2 o'clock Eastern Time advisory. About 80 miles east-southeast of Cape Canaveral, Florida. Winds still at 40 miles per hour. Those pressures, we estimate those pressures because we just don't have the observations over the ocean like we do over the land. Estimated pressure about 1,007 millibars. Haven't noticed anything, at least nearby, that's telling me those pressures are falling any dramatically. So there's some organization to this, but not anything significant. Moving, as Vivian was saying, more quickly to the northwest at 5 miles per hour. It had been drifting now for the past 24 hours or so. This is the forecast track, that updated forecast track that takes it to the north, gets pulled by a dip in the jet stream. As it does so, it's going to intensify, we think, off the coast of the Carolinas, and that's going to bring some gusty winds to the beaches of South Carolina and to the beaches of southeast Georgia, some strong rip currents and some high surf. Then it's going to strengthen, we think, possibly even further to maybe a borderline hurricane, 80-mile-per-hour hurricane. The threshold for hurricane is 74 miles per hour as it impacts the Outer Banks of North Carolina late Thursday into early Friday morning. So after that, more than likely going to head out to sea, but you want to keep an eye on it even through the northeast for some potential impacts. At the very least, we'll probably see some rough waves at the beach. Okay, this is what it looks like on our enhanced satellite picture. We had that spin to the clouds. I put on our wind flow at the surface. Again, this pressure still pretty high, so we're going to watch that pressure. If the pressure starts to come down, that's indicating that the system is getting better organized. Also, those showers and thunderstorms had been primarily on the south side of the storm. We're starting to see those build and some of that moisture build to the north side of this. So if those thunderstorms can begin to wrap around, then perhaps we're going to see a little more organization to Tropical Storm Arthur. The winds really aren't the story in Florida so much. These are our current wind reports from Daytona Beach down to Miami. In general, 10 to 20 mile per hour sustained winds with some higher gusts in there. Daytona Beach, 25 mile per hour gusts. 30 mile per hour gusts in Melbourne down to Vero Beach, but the rainfall is going to be the story. Nevertheless, we have tropical storm watches in effect just in case we get some of those squally gusts within some of those tropical bands. Tropical storm watch means there are tropical storm conditions expected in the yellow highlighted areas from Fort Pierce, just north of Melbourne to Daytona Beach. So this is what it looks like on our radar, that spin to the clouds. Most of the convection and the thunderstorms have been over the Bahamas. Those are kind of pulling slowly to the northwest. So we're going to probably see in the afternoon hours these showers pick up over the east coast of Florida. Our own Mike Seidel is in Melbourne Beach, but overall, Mike, not a bad day, just a great day along the east coast beaches of Florida.
The breezes are up here along the Treasure Coast of Florida. Here at Melbourne Beach, we've had gusts as high as 20 miles an hour. That's not going to do any damage. They come in with some of these squalls. Right now, we're between the showers. A lot of sunshine out here. People get back out on the beach. The surf is ramping up, too. We've got about 3-footers right on the shore as the tide comes in. You go offshore, that buoy about 20 miles east of Cape Canaveral, reporting 4 to 5 foot seas. And notice the folks out on the beach here, they're not going to let a few showers that come by in the last 5 minutes ruin their beach day here at Melbourne. Temperatures heading into the upper 80s this afternoon. Now, as we get into tonight and tomorrow, and Arthur goes north of our latitude and goes by us off the coast, we'll have a better chance of some of those squalls rotating in with some gusts maybe as high as 30 to 40 miles an hour. So the real impact here along the Space Coast and the Treasure Coast up towards Daytona, the Cocoa Beach, and here in the Melbourne area will be locally heavy rain, and that is really about it, along with some dangerous surf and some beach erosion. Back to you.
All right, Mike Saldell reporting from Melbourne, Florida. Well, along the coast of Florida, we are going to have a team, and we're also tracking a storm threat for the Northeast today. This is what's left behind where the storm has already passed through. Check out this town, and this is actually in Iowa, and this video shows you the hail that was coming down near Des Moines. Reports of quarter-size hail filling the roadways in Cedar Rapids. Those rains added to the city's wettest June on record. And here's Vivian, where the storms are headed next.
Yes, Jennifer, because all this time yesterday, we were talking about those storms in the Midwest, and we said yesterday that they would be moving into the Northeast. So today is the day. Here is a surface cold front right out ahead of it, already getting some returns, some lighter showers moving across western New York and Pennsylvania. But it is a lot of the energy with the Nexus system right behind this that's going to kind of merge forces with the first front, and both of them will just slide over into the Northeast as we go through the next several days. Again, the first one making its way in, and then the second one really pushing on in. And we're talking about some of those storms turning severe even as we look at the latter part of today, the afternoon hours in western New York and western Pennsylvania. And then tomorrow, it all advances to the eastern part of the states. And then we're looking at Thursday, the system kind of hanging up right along the northeast coast. So scattered showers and storms in the forecast for the next several days if you're over the Northeast. And that includes the Pittsburgh area. Again, going deeper into the afternoon hours today, scattered showers and thunderstorms. Temperatures expected in the middle 80s for the most part. Syracuse, much of the same for you. So we'll have your radar turned on high gear as well. Jennifer?
All right. Well, parts of the country that are comfortable in the 70s right now, well, there's a change that's going to be coming your way. And we are watching much hotter temperatures moving in this week. Your 7-day forecast is coming up.
From safety to fuel economy to quality, today's Chevrolet has it all. And it's a great time to buy. During the Chevy 72-hour sale, you'll get 0% APR for 72 months, plus no monthly payments for the rest of the summer. 0% APR for 72 months, plus no monthly payments for the rest of the summer. Hurry, the Chevy 72-hour sale ends Monday. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
I'm a loving husband and a real good dad, but weeds just make me rattlesnake mad. Well, Roundup has a sharpshooting wand. I'm sending them weeds to the great beyond. Roundup. Yeah. No need to pump, just point and shoot. Hit them in the leaves and it kills to the root. Ground fences, trees, even mulched beds, because the only good weed is a weed that's dead. Roundup. Yeah. Roundup. Yeah. With a one-touch wand.
Inside each of us is a little bit of Minion. The part of us that wants to be mischievous, wants to run free. All you have to do is let it out. Find your inner Minion, only at the Despicable Me Minion Mayhem Ride at Universal Studios Hollywood.
Currently in our area, 84 degrees with a thunderstorm. This afternoon, thunderstorms likely. High 82. Chance of rain 80%. Locally heavy rainfall possible. Tonight, thunderstorms. Low 77. Chance of rain 80%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
America's morning headquarters with Sam Champion.
Not just a morning forecast, a morning show.
AMHQ with Sam Champion, the Weather Channel's brand new morning show.
All the goodness of milk, all the deliciousness of Hershey's syrup. Squeeze, stir, share.
Introducing Thompson's Water Seal Waterproofing Stain. The seal just got better. With stain and sealer in one and easy-to-choose colors, exceptional beauty and protection have never been easier. New Thompson's Water Seal Waterproofing Stain. Available at the Home Depot.
Surely a vacuum shouldn't just work on carpets. Well, the Dyson DC65 cleans better than any other vacuum across hard floors and carpets. Works for me.
Would you consider a 4-star hotel that's up to 60% off? Just can't know the name.
Just no name?
Until you book.
Yeah, I'd do that.
To Weather Center Live. We are watching Minneapolis right now. It's 73 degrees, cloudy skies out there, and your temperatures are on the cool side. And that cool air is going to stay in place all the way through the end of the week across parts of the Midwest. We're even talking the plains. Now, temperatures are well below average for this time of the year. Look at this, 58 degrees in Fargo, 74 Minneapolis, 56 International Falls, 80 degrees in Omaha. Now, as we go through the day, the temperatures are going to continue to fall as we go through Tuesday, Wednesday, as well as even into Thursday. Now, as we jump ahead, it looks like my clicker's having a little bit of problem. For your 24-hour temperature change, temperatures are running about 16 degrees cooler than this time yesterday. The same for International Falls. Minneapolis, you're up, but the problem is your numbers are going down. That cool air in place, jet stream bringing you in, and it's not going anywhere. It's going to stick around for the 4th of July weekend. And as we show you, the numbers are running 5 to 15 degrees below average for this time of the year for areas including the Dakotas, Minnesota, as well as over towards parts of the eastern Great Lakes. Now for today, expect high temperature of 82 degrees in Chicago, 87 in St. Louis. And then for tomorrow, 64 degrees in Chicago, big drop off there, 74 in St. Louis. And as we head into Thursday, 79 degrees St. Louis, 75 in Cincinnati. The weather has not been this nice on the 4th of July, and I don't know how many years, especially not in St. Louis, and they have a really big 4th of July celebration there. Here is Chicago's forecast. Now, your average high should be 84 degrees. Today, we're going to see a high of 82. And then tomorrow, you're going to have to break out the jacket. 64 degrees. I don't know if you're going to want to wear shorts tomorrow, but as you head into Thursday and Friday, the 4th of July, temperatures in the mid-70s, still running almost 10 degrees below average, but still really comfortable out there, and it's going to be nice for the 4th. For Minneapolis, we're looking at 74 for high today. Your average should be 83 degrees. These below average numbers are pretty shocking for this late in June. Vivian.
Yeah, quite cool and comfortable right behind the system, but out ahead of it and during it, take a look at the scenes of yesterday. These storms rampaged the Midwest. A baseball game in Iowa took an ugly turn. Take a look at this now in the Cedar Rapids area last night. An 80-mile-per-hour wind gust reported, and that blew through just as the crew rolled the tarp on the field. Several people were injured, including reports of 3 concussions. Yesterday's storms added to Cedar Rapids' wettest June ever. So we had very heavy rain, and the rain came down with those very strong winds. So let's check out the 7-day forecast to see how things will change. As Jennifer mentioned, we are anticipating a cooler scenario behind all of the storms, but today those storms kind of pushing through the Ohio Valley, western New York, and western Pennsylvania. Everywhere you see the red on this map as we go through the next several hours, there is a chance that some of those storms could turn severe with the hail, the high winds, dangerous lightning, and again, those heavy downpours. And then tomorrow, it all advances off to the east. So we'll be watching Philadelphia, maybe around Washington, D.C. and Baltimore. New York City will have your radar turned on high gear weather as well. So here's a look at Thursday, watching the system still hanging up along the immediate coast, but in the wake of it, beautiful, absolutely gorgeous conditions over the Midwest, especially for it to be summer. And we're talking about temperatures in the middle 70s. Friday now, I know that's the holiday, the 4th of July, and we'll be looking at some showers painted on the map here along the New England coast. But we do think that this represents early afternoon, maybe late afternoon showers, perhaps just around dusk or certainly nighttime when it's time for the fireworks. Those showers will have come to an end. So that is great news. And even better news is that on Saturday and Sunday, we're looking good all across the Northeast. Here's a quick look at the overall forecast for Sunday and a sneak peek at Monday next week. Can we get to Monday? Oh, there we go. All right. Back to you, Jennifer.
Just like magic, you made it happen. Well, we are closely tracking our first named tropical storm of the year, Arthur, and there's a chance it could become even a hurricane. Just ahead, hurricane specialist Michael Lowry will tell us where it could be headed. Coming up next.
At every Ford dealership, you'll find the works. It's a complete checkup of the services your vehicle needs. So prepare your car for any road trip by taking it to an expert Ford technician. Because no matter your destination, good maintenance helps you save at the pump.
Get our multi-point inspection with a synthetic blend oil change, tire rotation, brake inspection, and more for $29.95 or less.
Get a complete vehicle checkup only at your Ford dealer.
You know, there's a more enjoyable way to get your fiber. Try Phillips Fiber Good Gummies. They're delicious and an excellent source of fiber to help support regularity.
These are good.
The tasty side of fiber from Phillips.
So, have you heard about this new Lancaster? Buttery rich, smooth, and surprisingly soft creams. So you give one a try, and wow. It's new Lancaster. It's caramel reimagined.
Mesothelioma victims and their loved ones may be entitled to a cash award from the $18 billion in asbestos trust funds, and you may not have to file a lawsuit to qualify. If diagnosed with mesothelioma or lung cancer caused by exposure to asbestos, call the number on your screen now. Even if a loved one had mesothelioma or asbestos lung cancer and has passed, your family may still be entitled to a cash award. Mesothelioma is a rare cancer caused by exposure to asbestos. Many victims worked in the Navy or in shipyards, mills, carpentry, roofing, insulation, construction, or automotive industries. For over 30 years, our legal team has successfully helped thousands of victims and families. Time is limited. You may not have to file a lawsuit. If your loved one has been diagnosed with mesothelioma or lung cancer caused by exposure to asbestos, please call 1-800-993-4678 now. That's 1-800-993-4678.
Because Dale has to go.
So just let him go.
He won't go without the tablet.
It's at like 10%.
I need it right now. You had 3 juices. Can we go to the bathroom without the tablet? Is there any way? Honey, now.
All right, hang on. Just let me log off.
Don't log off.
It's important to log off because of security.
I don't care.
Talk to your kids about finding a healthy balance with technology at commonsense.org.
If reliability, efficiency, and quality are what you're looking for, look no more. Amtech Air Conditioning is opening the door on unbeatable promotions. Half off our extensive 24-point air conditioning tune-up, now only $49. And $500 off the new 2014 16 SEER Rheem Home Comfort line. And up to $895 in utility rebates. Amtech Air Conditioning, delivering comfort to South Florida.
We build it free. It's as easy as web.com. Call 1-866-823-9824 today. America's Morning Headquarters with Sam Champion.
Not just a morning forecast, a morning show.
AMHQ with Sam Champion, the Weather Channel's brand new morning show.
Currently in our area, 77 degrees with a thunderstorm. this afternoon. Thunderstorms likely. High 82. Chance of rain 80%. Locally heavy rainfall possible. Tonight, thunderstorms. Low 77. Chance of rain 80%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Back to the Weather Channel, which is also Hurricane Central.
And Hurricane Specialist Michael Lowry is tracking the tropics for us today. Michael, you have the very latest with this new advisory you have coming out.
Yeah, we have a new advisory that just came in within the past half an hour from the Hurricane Center. This is an intermediate advisory, just an update. So not an update to the track, but an update to the intensity of the storm. Looks like it's getting a little better organized. The winds are still at 40 miles per hour. We do have an aircraft reconnaissance airplane, the Hurricane Hunters, that left out of Keesler Air Force Base in Biloxi a few hours ago. There has been some issues in getting that data, the transmission of that data from the plane to us here on the ground. They're working on that, the National Hurricane Center is. Hopefully we'll have that information. I suspect, though, I'm not sure exactly where they are, but I suspect they're somewhere in this area if they're not already in the storm. So I am curious to see what sort of information they'll be giving us, because over the open ocean we don't have the observations, or at least the network of observations that we do over land. So that information that we get from them, very, very important. Okay, this is the latest information. About 80 miles east-southeast of Cape Canaveral, Florida. Those winds 40 miles per hour. A buoy just to the northwest side here of Grand Bahama Island reporting wind gusts to 44 miles per hour. So some gusty winds on the south and east side of the system. Those pressures we're estimating, because we don't have the direct observations near the center, about 1,007 millibars, and moving now at least a little bit northwest at 5 miles per hour. It's been hanging off the coast of Florida now for the better half of the past 24 hours. This is our high-resolution enhanced satellite picture. What has me a little concerned with the system, and this is what I talked about yesterday, is the very large circulation. It's not a strong circulation, but it's big, and it's those winds that are sweeping across the ocean, sweeping up that moisture from the ocean, and then bringing that into the center of the storm. That is what powers a hurricane, because all of that moisture from the ocean gets lifted up into the atmosphere and released as heat. It actually warms the system. It's like a big heat engine, a hurricane is. But all of the thunderstorms today have been down here on the south side of the system. We have noticed some of the storms trying to wrap around, trying to form here. Hasn't quite done it yet. We're going to keep our eye on that to see if there's any trend going on. Over the past hour or so, winds not all that impressive on the east coast of Florida. 15, 20 mile per hour sustained winds. Some higher gusts in those rain showers as they move onshore. This, though, not expecting it to be a significant wind event for Florida. What the winds will do is they'll raise the rip current risk. They'll also create some high surf. So if you're headed to the beach, probably a good idea to stay out of the water. As a caution, we do have tropical storm watches up. Tropical storm watch means tropical storm conditions are possible in this area. Winds in excess of 39 miles per hour. The spin to it on the radar, most of the showers over the Bahamas, some of this rainfall moving in over Florida. But for the most part over Florida, we're just expecting an enhancement to those afternoon sea breeze type thunderstorms, some locally heavy rain, maybe 3 to 5 inches. What's been helping us, though, is this dry air at the mid levels of the atmosphere. This is our water vapor picture. And what you're seeing by the darker shading within the milky colors, that's that mid-level dry air. If you stay tuned at 50 past, I'm going to talk a little more about this dry air, the influence it might have, and hopefully we'll have data from the Hurricane Hunters, and we can talk more about what they're actually seeing up in the atmosphere. Back to you, Jen.
Yeah, we like to get that information in. All right, that's Michael Lowry, our hurricane specialist. And now we shift over to another story. 2 firefighters are recovering today after trying to put out this brush fire in San Jose, California. The firefighters were taken to hospital with heat-related injuries. Meanwhile, the 4-alarm blaze burned more than 125 acres. Dozens of homes were evacuated, but the fire did not damage any houses. Now we continue to focus on the Southwest. Well, good morning to you out there. We are still looking at hot temperatures out there, and as we show you what's going to be going on, the temperatures aren't going to be cooling off anytime soon. For Las Vegas, you've had 27 days of 100+ heat so far this year. Averages 69 days of 100+ temperatures every year, so the heat is certainly on. It's not your imagination. Excessive heat warnings in parts of California as well as into Nevada, including Death Valley and Las Vegas. So maybe if you're going out there for the 4th of July, the good news is you can pack your luggage light because you don't need many clothes in this heat. As we look at the fire fire danger red flag warnings in place, and that means no burning out there today because it is just too dangerously dry. And then the high temperatures today, 112 in Palm Springs, 111 in Vegas. Tomorrow, more triple digits out there. Flagstaff, you are the cool spot. Maybe you should head there if you live in Phoenix. Well, Weather Center Live continues. We continue to track Tropical Storm Arthur.
Let's unplug the past. Let's find a better way to wash that, shop those, and save these. Let's do this. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Right now, this Whirlpool washer-dryer, just $349 each.
Bridgestone's new Drive Guard tires are engineered to take a puncture and go up to 50 miles.
We can drive 50 miles on a flat, and you have an app that makes nails pop up?
Yep.
We could rule the world. But I've got carpool at 3, though, so
that time
we could, mess with the world.
50 miles on a flat. Because if your tires keep rolling, your day does too. And there's no better place to get your Bridgestone Drive Guard tires than Firestone Complete Auto Care.
When it's warm, you'd love to open every door and let fresh air into your home. The trouble is, you'd end up letting lots of bugs into your home as well. Now there's Magic Mesh, the new type of screen door that opens easily and then magically closes itself behind you. So if your hands are full, or you have a forgetful family member, you can still let fresh air in and keep annoying bugs out. The secret isn't really magic, it's magnets. 18 magnets to be exact. When you separate them, they automatically snap back together, so bugs have little chance to enter. Magic Mesh is perfect for single doors. A must-have for homes with sliding doors. It is even great for campers and RVs. Because even when your hands are full, Magic Mesh will snap closed behind you. That makes it great for pets too, because instead of scratching and whining, they can come and go as they please, and it puts an end to slamming doors because it closes gently every time. Plus, it's so easy to install. No nails, no screws, no tools. Goes up in seconds and stays up all season long, no matter how often you, your kids, or your dog go through. So let the fresh air in and keep those annoying bugs out with Magic Mesh, a $40 value, yours for just $19.95. Best of all, Magic Mesh saves you money because when it's nice, leave those doors open. You won't have to use air conditioning. And when the weather turns chilly, just take it down and store it away for next year. But wait, call right now and we'll double the offer. Just pay separate processing and handling. Use one for your sliding door and one for your back door. One for your home and the other for your RV. That's right, you get 2 Magic Mesh curtains for just $19.95. That's less than $10 each. Don't delay. Call and order yours today.
To order Magic Mesh for $19.95 plus processing and handling, call 1-800-596-3909 or order online at buymagicmesh.com. Call or log on now.
Currently in our area, 77 degrees with a thunderstorm. This afternoon, thunderstorms likely. High 82. Chance of rain 80%. Locally heavy rainfall possible. Tonight, thunderstorms. Low 77. Chance of rain 80%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
America's Morning Headquarters with Sam Champion.
Not just a morning forecast, a morning show.
AMHQ with Sam Champion, the Weather Channel's brand new morning show.
back to Weather Center Live, coming up on 30 minutes past the hour now.
And from severe storms, activity in the tropics, we have a lot to talk about right now. And of course, we start off with your weather headlines. They have to get you out the door. And for today, we're looking at the tropics, of course, our newly named tropical storm Arthur. And then we look at the northeast. We're going to be looking at some stronger storms popping up later in the day. Right now, here's tropical storm Arthur, looking better organized. Starting to see some of those bands working into parts of Florida. Now we show you what's happening for today. Look at the severe weather threat. Mainly, it's going to be the damaging winds as well as some hail out there. The southeast, scattered storms around for you, and that includes the Gulf Coast up towards parts of the Carolinas. Right now, we're going to turn it over to Vivian with an update on Tropical Storm Arthur, our first in the Atlantic season.
Yes, Jennifer, and that is our #1 story. Let's get you updated on this tropical storm because it just became a tropical storm. You know, it was upgraded about 3 hours ago. So right at the beginning of Weather Center Live, we were telling you about this tropical storm. So there it is. It's off the east coast of Florida. We'll get more details in just a moment, but I want to show you quickly the two tropical storms we have in the eastern Pacific. This is Douglas and this is Alita. Both of them are moving to the west, so they're moving away from the Mexican coastline. Now, Tropical Storm Arthur is also moving west, but it's moving toward the east coast of Florida. So as of the 2 o'clock advisory, so the latest information from the National Hurricane Center, there you see the lat and the long latitudinal lines, and you can see that it's 80 miles east to southeast of Cape Canaveral, Florida, with winds of 40 miles an hour. The pressure still at 1,007 millibars. That's what it was from the last advisory. But as you can see, it's moving to the northwest at 5 miles an hour now. As of the 11 o'clock advisory, it was moving only at 2 miles an hour. So its forward momentum has increased a little bit. Still kind of a slow mover, but it's moving a little faster than before. So as we look at the east coast of Florida, we still have those tropical storm watches in effect from Daytona Beach all the way down to Fort Pierce. And here is the latest radar. All along, we've noticed it being heavy-sided on the bottom here, but beginning to see more thunderstorms kind of wrap around the center. So this is an indication that this system is strengthening, certainly more so than weakening. And we will watch this because it bears watching over the next several days. In fact, this is what we're expecting to happen with Tropical Storm Arthur over the next couple of days. You know, right now it's moving to the northwest, but eventually we think the upper air winds will steer it off to the east and kind of away from the coast. But nonetheless, because North and South Carolina kind of stick out into the ocean, it could side swap this system or this area. And then as it moves northward heading into the weekend, check it out. Friday morning, the winds could be up to 80 miles an hour. You know what that means? That means that it will be a minimal hurricane. So you know we are watching Arthur very, very closely for you, and this is the place that you need to get the latest information on this system. Jennifer?
All right, Vivian. Well, residents in Florida are closely watching Tropical Storm Arthur, including how it's going to affect the big 4th of July weekend. Mike Seidel is in Melbourne, Florida today, where a tropical storm watch is already in effect. Mike.
The northwest breeze is kind of cutting down on that heat index today. It's around 90, so it takes a little edge off the heat and humidity here on Melbourne Beach. And people out on the beaches today as we watch Tropical Storm Arthur well off the coast. Now, that storm has generated a few showers. They have pinwheeled in at times. We've had some quick 6 or 7 minute downpours. The surf is up. It's certainly not incredibly safe to go out there because of the wave heights increasing now. 3 to 4 footers. Offshore now ramping up to about 5 feet at the buoy off to the east of Cape Canaveral. The real impact from Arthur as it goes right by off the coast offshore will be tonight and tomorrow. Some of those feeder bands, some of those squalls will rotate in, and some of them could produce wind gusts 30 to 40 miles an hour. So more of a rain story than anything else here along Florida's east coast. And then it's all out of here by late Wednesday, looking smooth into the weekend, the holiday weekend. Typical Florida weather, temperatures in the low 90s, and a stray PM thunderstorm. Back to you.
All right, there is Mike Seidel reporting from the beach in Melbourne, Florida. Well, this morning, a dozen people in half a dozen states, are dealing with the damage left behind from a derecho. This video coming in from Medina, Missouri. Strong storms, intense lightning, you can see it there, and the rain blowing sideways with those winds getting quite gusty. Rough times out there. But now we want to talk about what's going to be happening across parts of the Northeast late this week. Well, the rain is going to be coming down, and look at some of these reports from yesterday. Nearly 350 in the last last 24 hours. Mainly winds as well as anywhere in red, some of the tornado reports that we had out there. So the rough times last night. But as we look at the radar right now, things are fairly quiet. Starting to see just a few little storms trying to pop up there just to the east of Cleveland into parts of Pennsylvania where our front is. And the front's going to be coming through. But then there's another one hot on its heels that's going to be bringing, and with it, an additional push of showers and thunderstorms. That's going to last all the way through the end of the week. I know it is 4th of July, but apparently the calendar does not care. As we show you for tomorrow, severe weather out there possible. And then for Thursday, we're going to be looking at rain, thunderstorms around for parts of the Northeast as well as even into New England. Friday, hanging on to some of that moisture, hoping that it starts to push out early enough so that we can still get those fireworks popping across parts of New York. Well, Buffalo, here is your forecast. Isolated storms around, hit or miss, and then for the evening hours, expect to see clear skies out there. And then from Buffalo, we go to Washington, D.C., the nation's capital. Today, we'll see 90 degrees. When we go from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock on, we'll start to see more of those storms popping up through the afternoon. And then we look ahead into New York, 91 isolated thunderstorms out there. And for Thursday and Friday, it looks like rain, but again, showers on Friday, which is also the 4th. But look at that big cool down with that second front coming through as well. Vivian.
All right, that's a look at the Northeast. Thanks, Jennifer. But let's check on the Southeast as we take you to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And we have a few people heading out to the boardwalk and ride along the beach there. It's pretty nice, okay, but we do have the winds. You can see the flags flapping in the winds, and the winds are going to pick up, and so will the rain, because we're watching Tropical Storm Arthur there off the east coast of Florida. Eventually, it's going to make its way closer to the coast of North and South Carolina. But the latest radar shows the bulk of the heavy rain out across the northern Bahamas, including around the Nassau area and Freeport. But we're beginning to see some bands kind of pulled in along the east coast of Florida here from just south of Daytona Beach in the Melbourne area. Again, you can see the outer fringes from the tropical storm that we're watching. It's a good 80 miles away from the east coast of Florida. The center of circulation is anyway. But again, already kind of spiraling in some of the showers and storms. So we have Arthur, and then we have a surface cold front that's coming in from the north and west. So kind of a squeeze play if you live over the Gulf coastal states over the next couple of days, because we'll have the front coming from the north, and then we have Tropical Storm Arthur there off the southeast coast. So this is what we're expecting as we head